3, 2, and 1. Good evening. This is SHB Unfiltered, the podcast. Episode number, what, Chris?
25.
25. We've reached a quarter of a century. That's amazing. It's a fantastic achievement, all within 4 weeks, as we are the only podcast doing live streams featuring people who stutter, taking Q&A and comments, and absolutely killing it, because we are locked down as coronavirus is still here and tormenting us and actually taking a lot of people up away from us, which is not the best thing, but we are trying to keep safe and trying to keep sane. This is why we started this podcast. Chris and I, people who stutter, we've had friends, family on this podcast so far. Had some great experiences over the past 25 episodes, right? Would you not agree, Chris?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. We've had some great experiences.
What's been your personal highlight, sorry?
Personal highlight, I quite enjoyed meeting Kenny last night. I thought that was a good one. And episode 10 was obviously a memorable one for me. I'm sure you would agree. The way you just came out of it and hit me with that topic. Literally, as we went on it. Actually, you lied to me. I think we were supposed to talk about something else on episode 10. And then all of a sudden, I get hit with a different subject. So that was probably the most memorable one for me. What about you? Which episode stands out the most to you?
Oof, there's a couple actually that I can look back on and think, yeah, they were completely jokes. One of them, I think, involved Sanjog. I think this may have been the one straight after he got the haircut. Potentially his first appearance. I really enjoyed the one after the Pakistan Toastmasters event, because we were just baffled, and we literally did the podcast 2 hours later, I think.
Yeah, that one was cool. And we had just had a mad experience before.
Yeah.
High as well.
It was so good, just reporting back on our experiences with the Pakistan group and their Stammering Foundation, which is doing absolutely amazing work. A big shout out to Ahmad and all the peeps out there. And he's a really cool guy. He absolutely loves us, doesn't he?
Yeah, and the amount that he shouts us out on social media and supports Stop Holding Back in what we're doing, it's really cool, man. He's a really great guy.
Yeah, it's funny you actually mention it like that, because it kind of brings me on to one of the first things I wanted to talk about today, which has been pretty annoying. To be honest, I don't really have many hard feelings, but it is a bit of a punch in the gut when you are kind of like locked down, you're quarantined, doing amazing work, trying to connect with people who stutter around the world and different foundations, and you want to share it with the rest of the stuttering community, right? Because if you do all this work, it should be shared and championed and cherished, and you go to Facebook group and think, man, like, I can't wait to tell these guys what we're doing, and they'll be excited, they'll be motivated, and just like we are representing UK stuttering. On that meeting with the Pakistan group, we had people from Dallas in the States, Saudi Arabia, then different parts of Pakistan, so Lahore, Karachi, then us from London. And I was just so excited to share it. And what happened, Chris?
It wasn't on there. About how long did it take to take it off? Maybe 30 minutes, if that.
BSA. Very naughty of you guys to delete our work. It kind of reminds me a bit of, well, it is very different, but I think feelings are mutual. I feel like Brian Rose right now, when his interview with David Icke just got deleted off the face of the internet. They actually deleted his entire personal LinkedIn page as well.
Yeah.
he lost Vimeo and a few other things. But that video has been deleted off loads of platforms. I saw it when it first came out, like literally 3 hours after they released it. And it was really early on in the lockdown period. And since then, it actually made it on to BBC News.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
I think what's interesting about that, is that LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, and obviously Bill Gates is the biggest shareholder in Microsoft. And obviously that particular episode, the content of it, there's not really much surprise that Bill Gates may have wanted it to be taken down, right?
Yeah, did I mention Bill Gates' TED Talk about the coronavirus a few years ago? I think he did.
I don't know, but I think something came up. So obviously they wanted it taken down, and they did what they could to take it down. I mean, he's obviously making a lot of noise with that podcast. He gets a lot of viewers, a lot of traction. So yeah, deleting his LinkedIn is one way to make it very hard for him to put out content. But I don't think they can. Has it been completely removed from YouTube now? Yeah.
No, he's still on there, but that particular video, and on top of that, they can't really do much to Brian Rose at this stage because he has his own website and he keeps all his connects on there, so he would always keep his work. The only thing that they can do is take it off different platforms, but he's come to a point now where his reach is so wide, people just go to the website and find and watch, and if anything, it draws more attention to his work.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't say that I could see where LinkedIn were coming from or whatever, but you could say, it's really controversial what that interview was about and the topics that were raised and how it was put across. But in terms of your post on that group, what do you think was the reason why it was removed?
I don't know, because I was expecting a message to come explaining why, if it violated any like rules or anything. So just for people watching and listening afterwards, I had a post on the BSA Facebook group, kind of just talking about the work and the Toastmaster meeting with the Pakistan Stammering Foundation. And Chris won table topics, and we formed a good connection with them. So I was just drawing their attention to the podcast episode, and also mentioned that they actually deleted the live stream link as well previously. So I just said, yeah, like I just feel this is a bit weird, because to be honest, some of the other things on there, they aren't relevant as well. There's some memes I've seen from other people that are still on there, things about pub quizzes and stuff that yeah, it's pretty fun. But this is actual work where like we are going out of our way to actually represent the UK stuttering community, which I feel that we are doing properly.
Yeah.
And we actually care about, and they just took it down. I don't know why, but maybe at some point in the future when they post stuff, I would have to have second thoughts on whether they can actually post in our forums when we get to that stage.
But if that type of content isn't the type of content they want to be posted in their group, then what is? I thought that was supposed to be a support group. It's supposed to show support. You're supposed to inspire. You're supposed to motivate. You're supposed to answer questions. You're supposed to give people information, and that's all you were trying to do, right?
Yeah, but people have different agendas, I guess, and I guess maybe they didn't appreciate or like it. I'm not sure. I can probably count on one hand how many times I posted in that group this year.
Yeah, so it wasn't even excessive posting or
yeah,
excessive uploads or posting the same thing all the time. It wasn't.
Yeah, and we weren't like kind of advertising any products or services, just saying, hey, look, like we went live 2 hours with these guys. If you want to watch it, here is a video link, and they're really cool.
Yeah.
And it just kind of shows that I guess people may have perceptions about certain parts of the world, but they are more forward thinking than these guys here. Dude, they got their own Toastmaster club within the Stuttering organization.
Yeah.
They're miles ahead of the UK.
Yeah, that's crazy. And I think I mentioned it in the podcast after the Toastmasters meeting that the way we are in the UK, the way the different stuttering communities divide the way they do, I just really don't think it's healthy for people that need help and people that are seeking to try different things and work out what works for them best. It's almost like you have to choose a side. You have to support a team. But if that's not the team that's right for you, then you end up being in a position that you're scared to jump ship because you've turned your back on them. Like, I just don't understand how that can be beneficial for anyone that is struggling with their speech to feel like that or to be made to feel like that. It's like now you might want to post information, you might know something or discovered something, like the Toastmaster meeting that we were involved in with the Pakistan Stuttering Foundation, and there might be other people on there that want to get involved that could really improve their speech as a result of it during this time where they might have a lack of speaking opportunity. Well, you've just taken that away, and I'm struggling to understand why.
Yeah, I can't really guess like what their motives are, because from my perspective, if it's positive work, then I think it's amazing, right? Like I don't feel kind of like any friction or anything against any organization. It's a bit like there are quite a few podcasts out there, but we always champion these podcasts. Like you got the Schofield Stories from Callum, who's on the Starfish project, and Faison's podcast, and Rama Siva's one as well, the Stuttering Mind. Then like we champion each other, and that's the way we operate. But sometimes I feel like we don't actually get the same thing back from people. And maybe that's me being kind of like a bit soft right now, but why do you think that is, Chris? Why don't you think people want to put themselves up for us?
I don't really know, if I'm honest. I don't know. Especially the BSA and that post. We've always had a great relationship with the BSA. I've spoken at their events, you've spoken at an event. You know, we've always tried to push the services that they offer, like with everyone else. But it just seems like we don't really get the same treatment back, which is okay. It's fine. We will continue to act the way that we've always acted because that's the way that we are. And if we can help stutterers to make improvements and it's not directly through our channel and we've posted them in the direction where they've managed to get their help, then as a charity, I feel like we have done our job.
Without a doubt. And plus, I think it's maybe as well like people may see the competitive side where we don't, because we are just literally pursuing our strengths and things that we want to do. So I have an interest in podcasts and creating videos and stuff like that, and I've been doing this for some time now. Even had a crack at a podcast back last year as well, and I learned a lot from that process, and I was able to take that into this and just really go for it because that was my passion. I think at some point at some BSA event last year, they were thinking about starting a podcast, or it was in their plan. And like, did they reach out to us for any kind of, like, if they had spaces, or like if they wanted to get us involved or help? No, but within 4 weeks, we've got 25 episodes.
I don't know, maybe people are sitting back, waiting to see, okay, what is Stop Holding Back all about? Let them stand on their own 2 feet. Maybe they feel like Stop Holding Back is trying to leverage off of their community, but I don't know, and maybe they don't want that.
That's kind of part of the reason why I really appreciate the fact that Kenny came on yesterday to the podcast, because as we both know, he's part of one of the other groups in the Stuttering community, and I did speak to him before and say, look, like, kind of, if there's a chance that this will cause friction between the group you're part of and you, and kind of affect things, then just, you didn't have to come on. Just, we can have a phone call and chat, and Chris, and we didn't have to record it, and just we can speak as mates, because that's more important than me putting him on here just to get more and an extra episode, because like we have plenty already. Like, if Chris, if you were not available, I could just sit here in this chair and do this episode purely by myself. So that's what I told him. And
Yeah,
he said no, and he told me no, as in this is kind of like something I want to do. This speaking opportunity is just right in my face, and it would just be great just to speak to you guys and just go live and take that challenge up and take himself to the next level. And that's what I appreciate, because he put himself out there, and he shouldn't be like, we shouldn't be thinking that he's putting himself in danger.
I know, but you can't help but think that. You can't help, and you can't help but run that by them to make sure that they're comfortable with whatever could come their way.
Yeah, and this is a shame, because I've kind of helped out some of these groups with their stuff and filled their agendas, and like, this is the treatment we get back. It's not good, bros.
Listen, it is what it is, and we will continue, and we will carry on. We will continue to help people through our channels and our network and the platform that we're creating for ourselves. And it is what it is. There's no hard feelings. We just now know where we stand. So it's okay. We're going to continue to push, and we're going to continue to put in the work to help people. And that's the main thing. As long as we continue to put out a podcast every day, and we're giving people content they want to hear, and we have the Q&A that is running every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, for people that if any questions are not answered or any topics are not covered within the podcast, you have an opportunity to ask us any questions that you might want to ask, and they'll be answered on every Saturday morning. Then, correct me if I'm wrong, Ruben, are we planning to put highlight reels of the questions answered on YouTube, or are we working on post-production?
For the Saturday morning, probably not. But we can do stuff on the podcast. The best thing would be to just take a look at the podcast episode, the one the following day, because that will be up on YouTube, the Stop Holding Back YouTube channel. So to take a look at that, your questions will be answered on the episode at some point. Don't worry. Chris, just want to draw your attention to Facebook, and we have few people watching. Got Leo, always here. Got Karen Braga. Very, very nice to have you on, Karen. Got Ayo Adesanya on the wrong side of the podcast. And we got Faizan Sheikh asking, how are you, Chris and Ruben? How are you, Chris?
How are you doing? I'm good. I'm doing good.
Dude, I didn't even ask you how your day was. That's how sensitive I feel right now.
Today was annoying.
What happened?
For me.
Talk to me.
We've been working from home, or we've been logging in remotely from home into our work computers. Now, obviously, remote access only works if you have internet and the computer that you're logging into has internet access. So it hasn't been working. We haven't been able to log into our work computers. And I thought, well, maybe it's a glitch. I'll reinstall it, install it again, blah, blah, blah. It just wasn't working. Then I cottoned on that there must be no internet running at the office. Checked to see if I'd paid the bill. It's a direct debit, so it was paid. It was paid on the 27th of last month. So there's no reason why it shouldn't have been working. So we had to go to the office and make sure the internet was working again, which was a little bit annoying, but we got there and now we can continue to work from home pretty much stress-free now. So that's what I've done. What did you get up to?
Yeah, today was pretty non-eventful. My lower back and my legs were still reeling from yesterday's workout. Did a 5K run there's quite a lot of inclines on that route. So I could really feel my back this morning, and did some circuits afterwards, which compounded the pain.
I noticed that I wasn't nominated by you to do a 5K, so thanks for that. I appreciate that.
Did you lie and say that someone else did?
No. I have been nominated by
That's fine then, yeah.
a friend of mine called Ryan Goodman. He kindly nominated me. But I thought that if you were to nominate me as well, I would have to do the 10K run or the 5 and 5.
Got it. Okay.
So you got me.
I'll let you off for that. But yeah, then apart from that, just working from home still. Busy and just working on stuff for the charity as well, because we aren't just messing about, as some people like to think, and delete our posts. But anyway, today's big topic, I'm gonna surprise you with this one. I think you should have a Google out. But I was going to ask you, like, what you think of this term, the law of attraction. Because I hear this term like being thrown around by kind of so many people, especially now if they've like watched some kind of webinar recently or read a book. What does that term mean to you? And do you think it kind of is BS, or is there some value to it?
I think there is some value to it, but not as much value as people give it credit for. I think people can get caught up in it and they think, law of attraction, if I dream or I continue to think of having a Ferrari, one day the Ferrari is going to pop up outside my house.
It was that documentary, isn't it? Like of that, tells that bit where that boy, he wishes for a bike and then it just turns up at the doorstep. It's stuff like that. Yeah,
see, I believe that, okay, you have your goals, you have your aspirations, and you keep fixed on them, you focus on them all the time. That then allows you to know what you're working towards. So when you're putting in the work, you know what you're working towards. And I think that's how law of attraction works, rather than just sitting at home thinking, want a Ferrari, and all of a sudden, like magic, a Ferrari's outside. That, I believe, is complete BS. But I think that if you know what you want and you're focused on it, and that's what you're working towards, I believe it will come, because you have your North Star now. you know what you're working towards, so you can work out what steps you need to take to get there or get it, whichever one it is for you. So I don't think it's complete BS, but I do think that people may not understand it properly.
Yeah, the reason why I brought it up is because I've just heard it thrown in a few times during sales pitches and just different type of things. And I'm just thinking, like, do people fully understand the principle of it, or are they just seeing it as some kind of a fad term right now and just saying, oh, if I just put it in, then it will make this pitch a lot more stronger. One of the reasons why I ask is, for some reason, I think over the past year and a bit, there's been this thing that's going around. So are you aware of MLM?
No.
It's essentially network marketing.
Oh yeah, I know what multi-level marketing is. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So what this company have done is they charge people to join them.
Yeah.
And for this particular one, they give them a portal. Pardon me, just had a cough. But they give them a portal to book trips and vacations and stuff. So they essentially give people access to a portal that a travel agent would have. And then that person would be able to actually reach out to people and book trips for them. And then they get some kind of fee if they get someone to book, and everyone's happy, right? The other thing is, they actually pay a retainer to this company. So the travel agent, it's something like 60 USD per month.
Okay.
And then they get a fraction if they get people to sign up under their like name or code.
Yeah.
And then if people under their people sign up for their people, then they get a bit of that traction as well. Yeah. So they kind of put a lot of emphasis on people to build a pyramid underneath them.
Yeah. But a question that I have for you, in your opinion, is there a difference between a pyramid scheme and a multi-level marketing structure? Because if you ask people that work in multi-level marketing companies and are in the system, so they've paid their money, they're trying to get people to sign up underneath them. If you ask them if there's a difference between a pyramid scheme and a marketing scheme, they'll probably tell you there is. Actually, I'm pretty sure that they would tell you that there is.
But as in, how similar are the two structures? Because pyramid schemes may just have a taboo next to them or like a tag. I guess they're great if you're somewhere near the top of it.
Yeah, but I think the difference with a multi-level marketing structure, which the company tries to implement, is that just because I might have signed up before you, you can still overtake me in the positioning, in the hierarchy. Whereas I feel like a pyramid scheme, maybe
you can't.
Yeah, I can't overtake you if I join after you.
So you will always be stuck on that layer, the one under the one you join, right?
Yeah, but there'll be more layers that are created below you, right?
That's what I was thinking, but that's up to you. Because say if one person signs up you and someone else, and then you don't get anyone to sign up under you because you tried, but you're just crap. And the other person, and the other person manages to sign up someone, that person is essentially the same level as you in theory.
Yeah.
And then if they get someone else, then they can kind of overtake you. Because what like these guys are selling is they claim to be kind of independent travel agents and entrepreneurs, but they're actually paying a company to be part of the scheme. So A, they aren't entrepreneurs because they haven't built anything. And B, they are definitely far from independent because they are paying a retainer for this platform. And they don't really like the way they target people. They kind of DM people on like a blanket kind of way. So they'll go to like friends of friends and stuff like that and just DM and then talk about kind of having like a great opportunity. Do you want to be financially free?
Yeah, they always drop that line in there.
One of the things they say, well, it's fine to be financially free, but one of the things they say is you will continue to earn residual income for the rest of your life, and if you die, your children will get this residual income for the rest of their life. I'm not sure what happens if they die, but the reason why I brought it up is because, like, do you think that kind of with all these things out there, it makes it harder to reach people as like a new organization? You get perceived as some kind of like Ponzi stuttering community. I don't know. Bit of a weird question, but do you think because there's so many things in the UK, people are thinking, well, okay, why isn't it centralized?
What do you mean? Can you repeat the question? Are you asking me if it's difficult for us to position ourselves because there's so many things out there?
No, we can position ourselves, but does it make it harder for the general public to actually understand what we do?
I think,
or see where we fit in.
I think that's well, the aim of the website is to explain that. The aim of your social media is to explain that. The aim of the podcast is to display the results and explain different topics around what we work on. But in order to get a real good knowledge, you have to contact us, because everyone just has an assumption. Oh, they're another this group, they're another that group, they're this, but they might do one thing a little bit different. Thing that I would say in response to that, okay, if we are, why do the majority of the people that contact us, why are they from all these other groups? If we're just another one, they're hearing through other people that no, SHB is actually different. And that's why the majority of people that come to us have been on other programs and they've heard of us.
But that is a positive. That is a good thing. Is there a way for kind of the charity to, I guess, stand out in this like kind of crowd? Because you got like the BSA, which is officially the main stuttering charity in the UK, but it isn't even in the top 100 charities in the UK. And then you got all these smaller kind of organizations. Some are global, some are regional. On top of that, you got speech therapists.
Yeah.
Private from NHS, and it's a bit of a mind to like navigate through, because you don't really know like who your associates are and who kind of is thinking on your wavelength. So how do you actually kind of progress together if you can't actually see like who's on your wave of thinking? It might not be something we can answer here. It might not be something we can answer here, but I just thought I'd put it out there to see if anyone comes back in the comments. But so far, no.
I think that lead by example is one thing that you have to do. And I'm not talking about leading by example in the stuttering community. I'm talking about leading by example in every aspect of your life. Because that's what people are lacking. They're lacking that organization that clearly shows that what we do, you can implement it quite easily in the most difficult situations of your life. It's not just about, a lot of organizations position themselves and all their advertising is in the therapy room. But that everyone in the stuttering community knows that that's not where it matters. Everyone knows that there's things that as stutterers we can do quite easily. Like, for example, we can record ourselves with our phone and talk quite fluently. We can post that up on Instagram. We can post that up on Facebook. We can post that up anywhere. But what people really love to see, and from my experience, is people love to see you doing things outside of the stuttering community. And that inspires people more. And that drives people more to want to work on their speech and want to try these things. Talking to people that have stutters all day long, okay, it's cool. And it's nice to exchange thoughts and beliefs and techniques and things that you picked up. But ultimately, where as stutterers we get the most satisfaction is when we're amongst fluent people and we're able to hold our own and we're able to get involved in the conversation. People are able to hear and see the real us. They get to know our real personality. And that for me is the aim of working on your speech, to build those relationships, to get that job, not just stay in the stuttering community. Once you can bring yourself away from the stuttering community and still keep control of the situation and still be composed, that's the level that everyone has to be aspiring to reach. But that might not be a level they are aspiring to reach because there's not that much out there in terms of content showing that. I don't know if you agree, Ruben. I don't know if that's...
Yes, I completely agree with that statement. That's beautifully put, Chris. Beautifully put. AO says Chris is spot on.
Thanks, AO.
So I'm going to do something like really funky now and like tie this whole thing back together. Do you think that the BSA think that we are some kind of pyramid scheme in the stuttering community?
Fluency, did you say?
Pyramid scheme of some sort.
Pyramid scheme.
I wouldn't say pyramid scheme completely, but like, do you think there's that element of like a new thing out there that did they really understand, or is it a derivative of something else already out there? And do you think that they are not willing to completely kind of support us because they don't really get it?
I think maybe because we're new. People only appreciate the result. They don't really appreciate the journey. If you look at anything, if I told you now, I am going to be a millionaire, you'd be like, okay, cool. But if I told you I am a millionaire, then in terms of like business and business advice, you're probably going to take what I say a lot more seriously now that I am actually a millionaire. And I feel like that's potentially what is happening here. Okay, your new charity, we've been here for years. Come and talk to us in 20 years when you've been through all the challenges that we have and you've overcome everything that we've had to overcome to stay here and be a long-sustaining charity, which is, thinking of it like that, is, they're perfectly entitled to that. They're perfectly entitled to that viewpoint. I appreciate that, but that's not really what I'm concerned about. My concern is people are watching the videos, they're watching the content, they're messaging us, they're saying your speech is really good, how did you do it, blah, 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 blah. But then they don't want to take action. And the main reason why they don't want to take action is because they don't want to lose the community that they're already associated with. That's my concern. I think that's the biggest hurdle that we have to work out how to overcome, because there's a lot of people that want the help, and I know they want the help. They're reaching out, but they're worried about losing their ties with the communities that they're a part of now.
Speaking of people reaching out, just got a lovely comment from Abdul Hadi, the Danfor, saying, well done guys, keep going. And Abdul Hadi is complimenting us all the way from Libya. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we feel very honored to have you watching us. Thank you. Chris,
Can I quickly throw that question back at you?
Yeah, go on. Go for it.
So what do you think the issue is? How do you think we are perceived?
I don't think people fully kind of appreciate what we do and kind of buy into it. And to be honest, like we don't have, then like we could easily like be doing stuff and assisting some of the organizations with their awareness work if they give us kind of a platform to run events or run a workshop, and we can kind of do it in a joint venture type thing. We have opportunities to collaborate with the BSA and some of the other organizations, but it feels like they would rather kind of do things without us, and at the same time they are unwilling to fully support us when we kind of are doing progressive work. One of the reasons why I thought we should start the daily podcast was give people an idea of who we are and what kind of like ideas and stuff and what our personalities are like and everything, because a podcast is the fastest growing form of social media content right now, and all organizations should be having some kind of podcast in place in their vision or plans for the next year or two. So I thought that would be a good way for us to actually kind of like show people who we are. So we are being transparent here. We are live on a Facebook feed 25 days in a row. 25 days in a row, and we stutter. People who stutter do not do this. We are putting ourselves out there. And I just feel like it should be kind of appreciated more by the biggest stuttering charity in the UK currently. That's what I think. And the fact that we are willing to actually spend our Sunday afternoon kind of with a Toastmasters club from a different country and like supporting them and everything, championing them. The amount of stuff that he's shared all of ours and the meeting and some of our other things in the past like 2 days. Yeah, it's like a lot more than some of the jokers have done for us in the past 2 years. That just shows, as in like the progressiveness of some of the foundations abroad. It just shows the different dynamics, the different agendas. These guys are just passionate about helping stuttering. Here, there's all kinds of things going on that, to be honest, I don't really want to be part of. If that's kind of what the premise is. And when I come back to the law of attraction comment, or the question that I asked you as well, because that got me thinking. Because in the end, if you are kind of focused on your goals and putting in all the work, taking like the actions to actually reach it, then the right people, they will come to you. I think at some point you have to discard or separate yourselves from the ones who are not going to actually take you towards those goals. So maybe in the future we would have decisions to be made regarding that, because we have to work out who our friends are. That's the point I'm trying to get at, and then we can help each other grow, and we can both like take ourselves towards those goals, this organization and that organization, because in the end we are here to help people who stutter, right?
Yeah.
Get jobs.
I thought that was the aim of it. I thought that was the aim of working on your speech, to take your life to the next level. I thought that was the whole aim of it. And once you get to that level, you have a duty to help other people get to your level, or hopefully they surpass you and they might be able to teach you a few things. But on the whole, I thought that the reason why you pay for therapy, the reason why you get involved in different stuttering communities, is to progress with your speech, but more importantly, your life. That is the aim. It's not to be held back by anything. It's not to live within a certain rule or to abide by certain rules or be controlled. It's you getting control of your speech so that you now have control of your life. That's what the aim is. That's what I thought we were all trying to achieve here. And once we get that control, and once we reach that, let's help each other to elevate even more.
Yeah, definitely, Chris. And I just want to say, I didn't just mention the law of attraction as a plug, describing the people I was talking about earlier, because I do believe in some elements of it where if you are focused, if you are going for certain things and you're putting your energy and time into it, and then you will start to actually attract the people that are going to help you take you towards those goals. At the same time, you have to identify where people aren't going to help you and just stop spending time with them, because time is short, my friend. Time is short. And the other thing was, because this is episode 25, I just thought we'd kind of maybe be a bit more transparent about some of our like feelings and thoughts, just so like kind of whoever's watching this podcast, they can actually get an idea of like our intentions and what our personalities are like. I think sometimes on certain episodes it's easy to like be like having jokes and throwing questions around and having a laugh or talking about a specific technical topic. But this episode was for me a good chance for us to actually get some of our like true personality out there and show that we care, and actually show that we care, because in the end, that's why we do all this stuff. That's purely why we do this stuff, and we have, in that sense, found our purpose by pursuing this type of work. And we just hope that if you are listening to this podcast or listening to the live stream, you appreciate that and you just spare a thought for us when we are going about our way. And that's all we ask for you, from you. We just ask for your kind of like support wherever you are in the world. Chingford, Wood Green, or even in this case, Libya. That's quite cool, actually. This podcast reached Libya.
Yeah, that is cool. It's mad.
CJ,
Mad.
final thoughts? Any questions from me? And any questions that you picked up over the week? that need to be answered?
Not really. Not really. I haven't got any questions from over the week. I just want to take this opportunity to let people know that on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. we are doing a Q&A. So there is an opportunity to get involved directly with us and interact with us and ask us questions, to hear our views on what we think is the right way to approach stuttering and different challenges.
Fantastic, Chris. How does one sign up for this Q&A session?
So if you go onto our Instagram, there is a post there. There's one way you can comment on the post, and you will be messaged with a link, and with that link, that takes you to the registration page. You put in your name, your email, and you put in your question, and then that's it. And then after that has been submitted, you will get a private link to the Q&A.
The other way you can enter or enroll on the webinar this Saturday is head over to the YouTube page for this podcast and I think the previous 2 or 3, and there should be a link in the description at the top taking you to the same link Chris just described to you just then. So please 8 a.m. GMT. Last weekend was like really good. I think we went on for like about an hour 45 in the end, close to 2 hours, and really good questions. They got better and better as the webinar progressed, I think, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. They got better and better, but that's only natural because obviously the first few people that open the Q&A might be a bit nervous, might be a bit reserved, and then after they have an opportunity to ask another question, and then they get a bit more confidence, and everyone feeds off each other. So it's cool. And also your answer might lead to them asking another question about another topic. So that's only natural. And before we knew it, it was an hour and 45 minutes and we're still answering questions. So it was cool.
Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't hold back and sign up to the Q&A because we won't hold back either when you're there.
You won't.
Thank you very much. Chris, let's call it a day for episode 25. Any final words, thank yous, and all that kind of stuff?
Thank you to everyone that tuned in, everyone from around the world, and just the Stuttering community. I think what we got from this podcast is that the Stuttering community needs to come closer together and everyone needs to support each other a little bit more.
Let's all give each other hugs and stuff and actually care. I'm a very huggable person. I've got my soft LSE hoodie here that's really good for hugging. So please just let's all be friends. That's what we ask for. We can help each other and help people who stutter across the country because that's why we're here. If you don't want to help us, it's fine. We will carry on and we will fly. I purely believe that. We're going to go places. But for now, Chris, that's episode 5 done. Episode 5 done. Do you want to do the final duties and I will press the relevant buttons?
Let's do it. Cheers, guys. Remember, stop holding back.